Welcome back to Homesteading 101. Today, in planning your homesteading journey, we're just going to talk about how to sketch out your homestead, how to set clear goals, and just some time management tips. Right here in this part, though, I'm drawing out this house and this backyard. In this part of the video, we're just going to have a demonstration for you of how you could sketch this out. So, as you're planning your homestead, you can decide where do I want to put things and how do I want to do that? You could do this in an apartment. You could do this for the backyard, like I'm demonstrating here in a suburban neighborhood, or this is something you could do in more of a rural area. But for this one specifically, we're going to go more of a suburban backyard and just talk about different things. So in here, we're trying to look for a chicken coop and garden beds where we could put them. So there I just draw a chicken coop. The first things we're going to be wanting to look for is that sunlight, shade, water access, and existing features. So this part right here is looking at where shade is hitting us at. Then we're going to look at the different times of that. So obviously, like this is made up, but just watching your backyard and seeing what parts of the daylight cause shade, what times do not. So here we're saying that 11 a.m., 6 p.m., 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., these parts are shaded. So putting my chicken coop over here, I know that from 12 to 2, my chickens will have some sort of shade they can go to, but if they want to be out in the sun, they still have this open path here. But like those summer months when it's a lot hotter, they have that shade over there. Here, I'm just going to start drawing where I would want to put maybe garden beds because I don't want to take up my whole backyard. I want to still have room to do things, but I still want to have my garden. Sometimes through that, you could maybe have some pots on the back porch for just flowers. But here in the back, we're going to do some vegetables. We're going to do some fruits. We're going to do some herbs and then just some more vegetables down here on the end. Pot top, I just want to have some um, flowers, and as you're looking through here, like you can see where my water access is, that I can water everything, and maybe you don't have a spigot, so that's where you'd have to think, do I want to bring water from inside the house and bring it outside? Do I have the ability to be able to do that? But this is just kind of an idea of things to look for. Sketch your space. Again, obviously this is just a made up backyard. So definitely make this look more like what's going to fit for you, but definitely be looking for these four major areas when you're trying to sketch your space and decide how to set up your homestead.
A second ago, what we were kind of talking about is more of an idea of what we could do in a suburban household, but maybe you live in an apartment and you're kind of wondering, what can I do? I will tell you right now, container and small space planning is something that you can 100% do in an apartment. Think vertically, use window light, and maximize your storage. Here's just some examples of what you could do to be able to make plants work in your house. And that could just be herbs. Maybe if you can find a fruit that would do well inside, you could do that as well. Another thing to look into as well is hydroponics. Hydroponics works for a lot of people. You can get a really small one, put it on your kitchen counter, and again, you can grow those herbs. You just got to think a little bit smaller and work with what you already have. Something that is also really important when we're trying to plan a homestead and create it is to set clear goals for ourselves, because when you set those goals, you have something you're trying to achieve, which pushes you whenever times get a little bit harder. Like, you know what, like, I'm going to get to my goal. This is what I want to do. And also setting that clear goal for yourself, you know what to expect of yourself. You're able to plan it out, and then you're able to reach those goals. And that's so satisfying in the end. Setting clear goals can really help you with direction, as well as avoiding burnout. Some examples of what you could do to set clear goals is you could start an herb garden. You could cook dinner from scratch once a week. You could get chickens to have fresh eggs. You could start composting with kitchen scraps. These are just some examples of the many things that you could do to kind of set goals for yourself to help your homestead grow and to better your homestead. Let's kind of talk about some time management tips. It's really important to be able to manage your time so that you know that you can get everything done that you need to get done throughout the week rather than rushing through it. This is just an example of how you could do that. Um, Maybe on Sunday, you're going to want to pull weeds from your garden. Every day, you're going to do chicken care because you obviously need to feed and water your livestock every single day. Monday, you're going to gather vegetables from the garden. Tuesday, you're going to can the vegetables. Wednesday, food prep. Thursday, clean the chicken coop. Friday and Saturday, you're going to kind of let yourself relax, just feed the chickens as needed. It's just really important that you're writing this out so you know, okay, Sunday I have to do this, Monday I have to do this, Tuesday I have to do this, Wednesday I have to do this, and Thursday I have to do this. So you're not all cramming it onto one day because that's when it's going to become overwhelming. You're going to start to kind of fall into burnout because you're having to do so much in one day rather than planning it throughout the week and doing, okay, today, mark this off the list and I'm good. And again, you are knowing that you're doing everything you need to do because you're writing it out and you're seeing it firsthand, which is really important and very helpful in this homesteading journey. And finally, you have to be prepared to pivot because I would love to say that homesteading is this magical dream and everything goes right, but things are going to happen. Trees are going to knock down barns, you're going to have soil that spills everywhere, schedules are going to fall apart, plants are going to die, and it's not going to be perfect. But that goes back to that why. If you have your why, you remember why you're doing this. When you have these moments of just utter disappointment, you can be like, you know what? It's okay. It happens. You don't fail until you give up. So you just gotta roll with the punches and keep learning as you go. If your garden dies, learn that these plants don't work well. If trees fall in your shed, know that maybe I should cut down this tree. Again, roll with the punches. Be prepared to pivot and know that everyone has bad days, but it's all worth it in the end. And just remembering why you started this. That's all I have for you today in planning your homestead journey. Now that you've got a plan, it's time to get your hands dirty. In the next video, we'll walk through gardening basics from seeds to harvest.